Anybody else? Motion. Support. Motion from Mr. Miller to audience participation. Support Mr. Masters. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Passed 5-0. Next item.
3.01, Superintendent and Assistant Superintendent reports.
Can you just explain to them about the 5-minute rule, but also it's a personnel matter? If
Yeah.
you use names of personnel and they're not here, they're not here to defend themselves or to present the other side. So administration, the superintendent or assistant superintendent will call you back and get the story and go from there.
Yeah, it was during class. It was
Yeah.
like the second day of school, so the whole
But
entire.
we're not dismissing it.
Okay.
Yeah. You just
But-
can't use people's names here. They
It's
can't-
my first
they
time
can't-
doing this, so.
Yeah,
but,
I realize that.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming.
You're welcome. There was another issue, but she won't get up there and talk about it. So.
All right. See the assistant superintendent.
All right, thank you, Blaine. Just wanted to start with a little recap of the first week of school. I thought we kicked it off in great fashion. I had the opportunity to be in 7 different schools, visit pupil accounting twice, and got to an open house, and then of course got to the Kennedy Truman football game. We had a couple of glitches. There was a technology issue at Kennedy. AT&T had to come repair a trunk line. The fiber went down, so that was inopportune timing, but they got it fixed. A couple cases where we had to press some bus driver subs into service. We had some athletic events, and we're short a driver there on a day, and I know Kathy and Steve worked that out. Buses were clean and running well, arriving on time, surprisingly on the first day of school, because that's not easy to do. Kids were smiling, excited to see their friends. Staff was energetic and welcoming, and the weather, although it was hot, actually was really, really nice on September 6th. So I was happy school started as early as it did, because standing there in a shirt and tie and a coat wouldn't have been fun around 1 p.m. Teachers and administrators participated in the Thoughtful Classroom teacher evaluation training sessions that were offered a few locations throughout the district, and the instructional conversations-oriented model will be very useful to our administrators and our teachers, as the intent of this tool is to help keep the focus on coaching and growth-based conversations to improve teaching and learning. And that will be a key cornerstone of that work this year. I've been working actively with pupil accounting, and happy to report that as of this morning, we've entered and accepted 169 out-of-district school of choice applications for new students coming into the district. This is up 19 from where we were last year with 150, so that's definitely a positive trend. Continuing on with pupil accounting, I instructed Dan Cresbaugh, our pupil accounting director, to begin communicating to all secondary admins and to work with the elementary schools to commence the drop process for any no-shows. Typically at the start of the year we have a higher enrollment that shows up in MyStar, but that is because we haven't processed the drops. There's always some no-shows or some kids that have moved out of the area or transferred, left the state. And in the past, Dan has done that like on the 7th day, but this being day 5, I asked him to go ahead and proceed because we do have some really high enrolled classes. We have a couple of classes sitting at 37, and obviously 37 in a kindergarten is not something we can continue. So we want to make sure we're acting in a nimble fashion with good data and making those adjustments after we expedite the drops. Looking back over the last 5 years, our lowest number of drops over the last 5 years was 221, and our highest was around 450. And so just taking that number, if you estimate on the high end and take that off the 7320, which was the max we saw in MyStar here a couple days ago, that still brings you in about 50 to 100 above our projections. So we were projecting 6750. It looks like we'll be a little bit above that. I definitely don't want to give a concrete projection because they're not, obviously they're not yet even halfway through with the drops, but it looks like we're welcoming more families and new students to the district, and that's always a good thing. So I'll keep the board apprised about how that process plays out. I've been approached by George Sutherland, the City of Taylor Economic Development Coordinator, with information that Voss Steel is interested in a piece of district-owned property that's adjacent to the Wareham property. This is definitely not the first time that the board or the district have been approached by Voss Steel. So I talked to George a little bit. He was helpful because I'm new, so he gave me a little bit of the back history here. And then earlier today at the Finance Committee meeting, we talked about it some more. And so I will be gathering some more information and exploring that possibility. It appears that this property is adjacent to the rail line, and so it might be beneficial there for Voss Steel. But I'm not sure what all is involved as far as deed rights and how that land is zoned or titled. So that'll be something I'm working on in the weeks to come. Taylor Rotary Club putting a plug in for event they have scheduled. Turn Off the Violence, Turn On Health. This event will be from 4 until 7 on Thursday, September 22nd at the Heritage Park in their Sheridan Pavilion. The event is free. They'll have a picnic lunch, and the West Middle School Band will be performing. They'll have face painting, a bouncy house, lots of emphasis on family and kid-friendly activities. Zumba, soccer, hula hoop, other games will be featured, so it should be a good time. And if it's not raining, it should be a great event. So hope to see everybody there. The move of state and federal office coordinators to North Line is underway. Thanks to all involved here in this building who've been really flexible with this work. And coordination and communication between Mary Ann's office and Kim Corey and the school improvement coordinators is already on the uptick, and looking forward to watching that play out. And I heard, Tom, you shared something earlier about the Warthogs. I got a call from Lori Brown Platt, so I put it here in my update. And I was unaware who the Warthogs were, but she said they are members, the motorcycle club members are police officers and firefighters from downriver in western Wayne County. And they initiated sounds like a massive back-to-school book drive of 300 backpacks stuffed full of notebooks, paper, pens, and all sorts of school supplies. So she had an office full over at Truman, was in the process of distributing that out to kids. And so a huge thank you to all the firefighters and police officers, members of the Warthogs, to help make this effort possible. And that's my update, and turn it over to Mary Ann.
Could I, while you're passing those out, go ahead. The Voss Steel situation, every time we have a change in administration, they try again to acquire the land. Our hands are tied with that. The land was donated to the district with some deed restrictions. And the deed restrictions are that the property is only supposed to be used for school or public green space use. And if it is not, and we went through this whole process and background check and attorneys looking into things when we put the police dog training over there, because it is an education, if you will, of the dogs, it was allowed. But if we sell this land or try to sell it to Voss Steel, my understanding over the years has been that the land will revert to the homeowners that are adjacent to that property, from their backyards all the way to the rail line, if we try to use it for purposes other than those two purposes. And we've been through this a number of times. Many people at Voss Steel have approached individual board members, city people, the new city mayor and different people there. When they were new, Voss tried to go to them to get the property. So we've already been through this a number of times, so I'm just letting you know that we need to let Voss know enough is enough, and tell them that it is a restricted deed, and they cannot have the land.
Well, Penny did share with me some information from Clark Hill, and I've of course just seen a front page letter. There's evidently more, so it sounds like the district has a long history here, but thank you.
I'm just tired of this whole process with them, because every time they bring it up, it takes hours and hours away from our administrators' jobs checking into this, and it's going to be the same answer legally every time.
So what I asked for during Finance Committee is, and I know it's going to take some time to do it, and working through DEP is the greater importance right now, but if we can get a good historical record of all the property we own with all the restrictions, so that we have it well documented, so we're not spending time going back and forth. To be honest with you, I mean, we would like to be not burdened with the properties that we have in some cases, and frankly, this is one of them. So if we could, somehow unburden the district, that would be a positive. But working through those is all the trouble. So you know, I understand exactly what you're saying. My thought is let's just get all the requirements clearly delineated for each set of property that we've got, so that we're not spending time, so that we can at least understand what our options are.
And this was done last time. Attorneys were contacted, many attorney firms were involved. So if we have to go through that again,
No, we should have all the information. What I'm saying is take all the information that we've already accumulated and just compile it.
and I don't see it as a burden. It's property that's rented out, that's being maintained by the people that have it. The grounds are taken care of. It's not a blighted property. And Voss would like it for a railway turnaround
Understood.
section, but our hands are tied.
Understood. And we only own the Waring property. There's all the other land that I believe the city owned. That's green space that's in conjunction with that. So it's not even all our, we only have the one small parcel that's involved in the discussion. So
I don't think so. We have from all open space there is the school districts up until the woods. That's our property.
Well, whatever. Again, that's part of the question. Let's define the property, understand all the restrictions that go along with it. That's all I'm saying. So that we don't need to keep wasting time in understanding what our options are. That's all. So I think, if we've got that information, take a few minutes, look at it, understand what the options are. That's what I would recommend.
Okay.